Hi friends, this is Daryl Leal, minister of First Molina Hinge Presbyterian Church, and welcome to Just a Thought, Good Friday. This is our last Just a Thought Easter for this year. And I want to thank Jill for drawing and putting together beautiful drawings so that we can meditate and reflect upon together with God's words and some thoughts that I put together. We have done this because we believe that pictures and God's words are a powerful combination for us to ignite our imagination and allowing God to speak to us. Today on Good Friday, I would like to read from Luke chapter 23, verses 33 to 49. This is God's word. When they came to the place called the Skull, they crucified him there, along with the criminals, one on his right, the other on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." And they divided up his clothes by casting lots. The people stood watching, and the rulers even sneered at him. They said, "He saved others. Let him save himself if he is God's Messiah, the chosen one." The soldiers also came up and mocked him. They offered him wine vinegar and said, "If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself." There was a written notice above him which read, "This is the king of the Jews." One of the criminals who hung there hurled insults at him. "Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us." But the other criminal rebuked him. "Don't you fear God," he said, "since you're under the same sentence. We're punished justly, for we are getting what our deeds deserve. But this man has done nothing wrong." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus answered him, "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." It was now about noon, and darkness came over the whole land until the 3 in the afternoon, for the sun stopped shining, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Jesus called out with a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." When he had said this, he breathed his last. The centurion, seeing what had happened, praised God and said, "Surely this was a righteous man." When all the people who had gathered to witness this sight saw what took place, they beat their breast and went away. But all those who knew him, including the women who had followed him from Galilee, stood at a distance watching these things. The story of Jesus' crucifixion, it is perhaps the biggest miscarriage of justice ever seen. And there have been many misuse of power throughout humanity's history. People have been executed, falsely accused, exiled, put in prison for false reasons. But Jesus' death and crucifixion actually was the most excruciating execution designed by the Romans. This death and crucifixion have been debated, talked about, even preached for over 2,000 years, and even today still challenges us. It still challenges the concept of justice. If Jesus was on trial today, I have no doubt that I would be on the streets protesting. I would have joined together with vigils and lighting candles, and indeed I would have marched on the streets protesting and demanding fair justice. Yet, justice, as we know it, it is seldom fair. Just look at the TV screens and watch for yourself how a military regime can turn against its own people. However, if we only look at Jesus' execution only as a miscarriage of justice, then maybe we are missing the point altogether. Because Jesus' death on the cross was God's judgment on mankind. It was his way of pointing to what true justice really is. And by placing Jesus, the whole weight of sin, you and I, we can now have the opportunity to experience true justice. This is something that challenges logic and reason. And I, for one, I am so grateful that it does. Because this justice and the appropriation of righteousness not only is gained by grace and access by faith, it is by grace alone. So much so that we know this because the story tells us that this criminal, the one who was beside Jesus, said to Jesus, "Please remember me when you get into paradise." In fact, he said it something like this: "Jesus, remember me in your kingdom." He called him king. Remember me in your kingdom. He called him king. And Jesus said, "You will be with me in paradise today." That is pure grace. That is placing faith in Jesus Christ. And I have no doubt that this man, this criminal, is with Jesus now. So I want you to look at Jill's picture today and read the scriptures that I just read for you, which is Luke chapter 23, verses 33 to 49, and ask God to speak to you. And maybe you should ask this question: Lord, what do you want me to see? This is just a thought. Good Friday. God bless.